Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the incredible Kyle Charles, and
um, the spectacular CY Chung.
and today we're gonna have another sort of pop culture questions that will, go forth into discussions. And then we're going to have a little special discussion at the end, which we won't say now. We'll
Yeah, yep, that's correct.
have a surprise. So, let me get out my first question. Dude. Okay, my first question is, I don't know if you will know it.
Yep.
Um, What is the name of Peter Parker's sister, quote unquote? Could be,
Oh,
who knows?
geez. You know what? God damn it. I didn't read the storyline, but
Yeah.
I know about it.
Okay.
Um, damn it. Oh, I don't know.
Don't
I
know.
know that you know what? Do you know the full back history and all this?
I haven't read it, but I know the back history and I know everything that sort of goes on
All right,
after
yeah.
that.
Hit me with it. Hit me with the.
Okay. I want to say, I can't remember the exact year, Marvel were doing original graphic novel ideas.
Yeah.
One of them was X-Men. I forgot what the actual name of it. But anyway, an X-Men one and a Spider-Man one, which was called Spider-Man Family Business.
Yeah.
And Peter Parker gets a letter from someone saying, "Yeah, we found your sister," and he's like, "Hold on, what?
Yeah.
I don't have a sister," which leads him to go into, I think it's Cairo or somewhere,
Yeah.
and he meets someone who knew his parents while they were captured during them being a spy, and during that time they had another
May I
child.
ask you this though?
Yeah,
Did they ever? Because back when he was the Amazing Spider-Man,
yeah.
way back when in the '60s, his parents were spies.
Yeah,
They were infiltrating something about the Red Skull,
yeah,
but it's way beyond that point of World War II now.
yeah.
So did they ever just say his parents were just secret agents
Yeah,
or
they just basically say, yeah, they're secret agents. If I remember
non-definitive,
right.
not what they were doing or anything in particular? They just said,
No.
okay,
I
all right,
could be wrong, and if I'm wrong on that, let us know. So,
okay.
yeah, so he goes and meets this person whose name is Theresa May. And,
The president. I mean, the
sorry,
prime minister.
Theresa Parker, sorry. Sorry,
The former prime minister. All
her
right.
name's stuck in my head. But yeah, so then you find out that it was a kingpin who found this information and sent it to Peter Parker because his sister's also a secret agent. And
Kingpin's sister
no, Peter Parker's sister, Teresa.
is also a secret agent. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was doing that to get her out of hiding because I think she has dirt on him or something along them lines.
Yep.
And I can't remember what happens after that. But then at the end of that story, they try to say she's not actually his sister,
Yeah. Yeah.
but his parents did raise her to a certain point before they got murdered.
Yeah.
But then that's also meant to be said as a lie. So the theory, like, it's still out there whether or not it is or is not his sister. So they keep
Okay.
playing that one.
She was born before him, I guess.
No,
Then, right? Because
after.
if he doesn't know. Okay, so they went off to be spies,
Yeah,
and then they had another child.
yeah,
Maybe not.
yeah. Maybe not. Who
Okay.
knows? Yeah. So
Right.
then, well, she's been in the comics lately, and Peter does see her as his sister
Right.
because, on Chip Zdarsky's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man,
Yeah.
or as Spectacular Spider-Man. She appeared in that because she was helping Peter take on the Tinkerer.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's when.
All right. Well, do you think?
Yeah.
That sometimes they have bad ideas
Yeah.
that they just continue with, even though they should just pretend it never happened.
Yeah.
Such as the Grey Goblin, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes they get bad ideas, which other people turn into good ideas, like eventually. Where, do you think this is a bad idea in the first place, or do you hold out some sort of hope that they will make this somehow relevant to Spider-Man?
I think
or you're just gonna forget about it and pretend it never happened at some point.
I hope they don't forget about it because I think it actually is a good idea.
That he has a fake sister, or that it really is his sister?
That hopefully that it's actually his real sister rather than fake sister, because then that just gets like stupid and it just shows like the writers are not 100% on board with it, which is.
Well, it's this. By the way, is it the same writer that created her? Is the one that's still continuing to?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Let me just quickly check who actually created it, but I'm not too actually sure. But yeah, it's one of those things. I just hope they just stick with it, because why do that whole stupid crap of like, oh, it doesn't matter because it was all a dream, or i.e. Magneto, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, fiasco. That still hurts me to this day.
Well, yeah, that's an awkward one, because probably someone else will write that. Oh, okay, well, what happened there was a lie.
Yeah, he really is.
He really is. Yeah. A bit like
happen.
how that crap with the Clone Saga, where I'm not even talking about how Ben Reilly was the real Spider-Man and turned out to be fake Spider-Man. Is the bit before that where the Jackal learned how to make perfect clones, but then the High Evolutionary said it was something else, and then they retconned it that the Jackal didn't really create clones. It was some sort of DNA thing that took over the people's body to turn them into humans that look like the person you're trying to duplicate. And then they finally probably said it was actually clones or some craziness like that. And it's like, what?
Yeah. You just make it even more convoluted. When you get to that 7 different levels of separation rubbish.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is sometimes things like this, other people don't. The writers, some writers or some editors or whoever decides they don't like it, and then they just start readjusting stuff. And
which makes it
we'll
more
have
muddier.
to see though about this particular storyline. It's still kind of fresh, yeah. How long was she introduced?
2014.
Okay. And she's been a regular character since?
Yeah, she was in just before Nick Spencer took over Spider-Man. She was in it then. So I don't know if she's been in it lately.
All right, we'll see.
Mark Waid, he created her. Mark Waid, he wrote the story where she appeared. Yeah. So
okay, we'll just have to see exactly who decides to do what with her, if anything. I don't know what the angle is introducing her for, like the idea of, but hey.
Yeah, I think just to spice up the character, like with Venom now, Eddie Brock's got a son, and it sort of gives more to him in that character and flashes him out a bit, rather than him just being this guy who keeps being good then bad whenever writers choose for it to suit them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I hope, they make something of this.
Okay. All right. I've got something, a point of discussion as well, but this is not like okay. So I believe. Okay, this is what I believe, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You can take. You can put Wesley Snipes in any Van Damme film. Like, just take Van Damme out of the film and put Wesley Snipes and just wholesale replace Van Damme, and it won't affect the movie. Quality wise, because let's face it, Wesley Snipes is a better actor, but you can't do the other way around. You can't put Van Damme in the place of Wesley Snipes in a Wesley Snipes movie, because Van Damme couple, that stuff. Do you agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Okay, now, any particular reason? Because yes, let's be fair, they're both action stars and they mainly do action roles, so the swap is kind of easily slotted in. However, when you see stuff like Wesley Snipes doesn't take himself too seriously and he acts a bit campy, like in Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything.
Yeah,
I don't see Van Damme putting that off.
No. I think
so let's discuss it whether Van Damme is good in Wesley Snipes roles, and then we'll do it the other way around.
With Snipes in Van Damme roles,
Yeah.
no, he won't be.
Okay, why? Because
like Van Damme roles are written just for Van Damme because he's a great like fighter and stuff, or should we say showman, but all of his films, there's not much plot to him, is it? The character doesn't really do anything besides fight.
Yeah.
And because Wesley Snipes has done a number of films where he's not fighting or whatever, he literally is acting.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work. It would just turn them films into just like a film that wants to be taken seriously, but it can't be. Like,
okay.
Like for example, Time Cop, yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone knows that's not a serious film. It's stupid. Okay. Yeah. It is what it is. But if you put Wesley Snipes in it, then it's trying to make something that's ridiculously stupid serious and be like, this should go straight to TV, not even DVD, straight to TV.
I mean, I don't know if I agree or disagree with that. I'm just saying, I will say this though: the Van Damme, the darker roles. When I say the dark roles, I mean when he had like Time Cop and Universe Soldier and Hard Target, stuff like that. You can easily put Snipes in those roles instead. It's the stuff like Knockoff and all those kind of
ridiculous.
I want to say wackier roles.
Ridiculous roles.
Yeah. Though I still think that Snipes, because when so there's a bit, I believe in Game of Death, with Snipes' version of Game of Death, he pretends to be like a fashion. He's winning something around with all these guys having their mob deal or something like that. Yeah. He walks in there as though he's a fashion designer, like really, really super camp. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm in the wrong place and stuff like that. And then they hold him up, and then he just beats them all up. But I'm like, yeah, Wesley Snipes clearly can make fun of himself, and he knows how the humorous parts on point.
But they would have to make it suit towards his sort of comedy, because like Jean-Claude Van Damme, like, because his English is so, it kind of suits them roles that he can be funny without intentionally being funny.
Okay.
And like with Snipes, and like, I don't want to say this, but they will probably go towards either the like campy jokes, like you said, or be the racial jokes, like
always black jokes, right?
Yeah,
like from A Passion of 57.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What would you say then? Because we know William F. Guile in Street Fighter is not Belgium, right?
No, he's American. He's of American parents.
We're just going to allow for the acting abilities. So it don't matter what color the actor. I mean,
we forget about all that.
Blade can be white for Van Damme to be in it, right?
Yeah.
So I reckon Wesley Snipes would be a better Guile.
Yeah, of course. But then Street Fighter would be an even more terrible movie. You know what I mean?
You kind of got me there. Well, I reckon acting ability, you can pull it off. All right, you got a good point though with the silliness of certain things. That is like he's just going to bring more to the table. That's going to be not required for the actual role.
Yeah, and it will make even worse things stick out.
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
you know,
that's
Street
kind of
Fighter's
fair.
terrible anyway. But like, say for
Yeah.
example, let me just say, like, which is it Extra Time? The one with Van Damme with the hockey place.
Oh, sudden death.
Sudden Death. All right. Imagine put in Wesley Snipes in that role.
Yeah.
It'll make you realize, wow, they literally just made this film because a tax write-off or something, because that film is terrible. But
Oh,
because
you know
Van
what?
Damme's in it, you're like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool.
Fair enough. You pointed out something actually, because when he fights the mascot, the guy in the bear costume, right?
Yeah.
The girl, the lady in the bear costume, is like, all right, I can kind of accept Van Damme's silliness because he's done like silly, right? But if it was Wesley Snipes, he probably would have said, like, as the actor, man, before they filmed the part, he'd be like, what?
Yeah. Why?
Like, this is a bit odd.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, right. He might roll with it, but he'd be just like, dude, I'm kind of serious, and you know, unless I'm just gonna knock out this mascot right away, it's like fighting someone in the bear costume.
Yeah.
In the
You know
kitchen.
I mean? It's
All right. But you're saying, okay, fair enough. How about Van Damme in all Wesley Snipes' roles?
I reckon it's like a 75-25 on that, because like he could, like you said, like films like Blade,
yeah,
he would make it iconic for all the wrong reasons.
No, to be fair, I'm gonna say for Blade specifically, if you just take the character from Hard Target and put it to Blade, you kind of you can actually swap out that role. It wouldn't be as urban, if you know what I mean. Like it wouldn't be as black, but you know, slot in that role.
It would just, it would be like, you know, Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher, or be like that. You're like, oh, okay. Like, obviously, we're not putting the whole race thing in, like, him. But it's literally like, I don't get why they casted him.
Yeah. We're gonna also allow for white men can't jump. Will clearly not be called White Men Can't Jump, because Van Damme in that role he's the white man.
It'd be like Belgian men can't jump.
No, American men, because it's Woody Harrelson that can't
you guessed
jump.
it, yeah. It just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, like you're saying, it'd be some sort of split, and I'm not saying. I mean, you're saying the 75-25 split.
Yeah, like
that Van Damme can be in all the roles or can't be all the roles.
Oh, the 25 is like he can be. 75 is he can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I might say more of a 50-50. That just depends on how, I guess, which roles.
U.S. Marshal.
And I have not seen all of Van Damme's film.
Snipes
films, so I can't say whether specifically Van Damme can fit in all of them, because some of them went direct to video and DVD and stuff like that. And you're like, yeah.
Like,
but they're all action films at this point. So if it's an action role, you could probably slot into it.
Yeah.
Not too badly. If it's like 2-1-2, thanks to everything, all those acting dramatic roles.
Yeah.
He could never be in the bad music video though.
No.
Because Van Damme, I don't know if he could. Yeah.
Actually, no. Isn't he like versed in the world of ballet or something like that?
Who, Van Damme?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I don't know. I could probably. Okay, so would it be Van Damme and his gang of French Belgians dancing off against Michael Jackson in the bad music video?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right, and then Michael Jackson's like, "You ain't bad, you ain't nothing," but then he's used to be part of this French Belgian gang.
Yeah, because you got to remember, that like ballerinas and the male ballet guys. Sorry, I don't know what they're actually called.
Yeah.
Are like some of the toughest people in the world, like legitly, because of all the mass training they got to go.
I wasn't commenting.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's why that gang would be like proper hardcore. You know what I mean?
I suppose.
Because like they've gone on with like walking with like broken feet and stuff, so they're like proper hardcore. So
this is fair. And I suppose if you alter it in such a way that Michael Jackson does do dance for okay, you can kind of Yeah, I mean, we've been all complete alteration from them being thug street people
Nah.
mugging old men. But hey,
Hey,
that's the way the wind
you got
blows.
to make ends meet, I guess. You know.
You gotta alter the video for the circumstances for whoever.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what you got next?
Okay. What I have got next is another general talking point.
Okay.
You probably know this, but then I'll go into other things to do with it.
Yep.
You know the historic the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title.
Yep.
Do you know how many? Wait, sorry. Who's had the most reigns and how many combined days? And I got some
don't know how many
interesting facts
combined
about that
days.
as well.
Yeah, Jushin Thunder Liger,
Yeah.
11 reigns in total.
Yeah.
I'd say 1,069 days, just randomly guessing.
You know what? You're close, but not at the same time. All
Okay.
Right. For a little backstory, this belt was actually created in February 1986, and Jushin Thunder Liger has actually, you're right, has 11 reigns.
Yep.
And a combined day of all his reigns of 2,245 days.
Yeah.
And
okay.
After that, I thought this was pretty cool. The person with the second most combined days and has had a shorter reign than he did was Prince Devitt, aka Finn Balor, with 1,010 days.
Okay.
It's insane. But he only had 15 reigns. I mean, 15 defenses.
Jushin Liger or
No,
Finn Balor?
Finn Balor. Jushin Liger had 31 defenses. Which makes sense because they didn't wrestle as much as they do now. So it makes sense for him to have only 31 combined defenses.
Do you know about the how much backstory do you know about the character, not the wrestler?
Oh,
Jushin Thunder Liger
I know quite a bit, how he was actually meant to be a cross promotion with a anime.
Yes, that's what I was getting to.
Which the character outlived.
The wrestler outlived. Yep. And I think he turns into. So I want to say Super Liger, but we know that's Chris Jericho.
He turns into
Ultra Liger, Ultimate Liger.
Like that. It's like that. It's some sort of weird mech. Right, let me just look. Yeah, he turns into some super mech.
Oh, the cartoon, the anime character.
Yeah.
And Jushin Liger himself, when he gets his mask torn off, turns into
Kushu Liger,
which is his demon half.
Yeah.
Are we saying Darker? We're gonna go for the Darkado. Half, right.
The evil.
The Sasuna Hadu version.
Oh, and it just basically he paints his face white.
Yeah.
With black outlines, and he spits out green mist.
Yeah.
It's the greatest thing.
And he's only brought out a couple of times. I believe against Minoru Suzuki, but obviously, if you fight someone like Minoru Suzuki, I can expect it.
Yeah, murder grandpa. You have to go all out.
Yeah,
and his theme song is probably one of the greatest.
Is this theme song the theme song for the actual anime as well?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, yeah. It sounded like it, but I wasn't 100% sure because I never saw the anime.
From that as well. Liger. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Liger when I was a kid when Channel 4 used to play New Japan randomly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
On a Sunday. That's how I sort of knew about New Japan then.
Right.
and he was
But would
obviously
that be
sticks
in all
out.
those or would that be in all those like late times when they played European football and American basketball and all that stuff?
No, it was early Sunday morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was random, but yeah, I remember it was that, and like you said, the European basketball and American basketball, which they randomly played, which was
European football.
yeah, that was it. It was. Oh man, I miss New Japan back then. Anyway, and then when he showed up in WCW and against Brian Pillman, that was cool.
Yes, yes, flying. See, the funny thing is, you know when you take a break from wrestling
Yeah,
and then you see it back and you see all the old characters you knew just suddenly changed.
yeah,
Flying Brian Pillman, suddenly the loose cannon.
yeah.
Brian,
So I had
like,
the same thing. I was like,
massive character transition. I was like, wait, what?
how does one go from the other?
Yeah, and then Johnny B. Bad,
Yeah, Mott Marrow.
marvelous Mark Mirror. I didn't even see the Wild Man transition. Just
No,
like
same. It
marvelous.
just there. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, just like this boxer guy who kind of looks like Johnny B. Bad, but Johnny B. Bad has a tan.
Yeah, and because back then, obviously, you didn't really know about like people having changed their gimmicks when they go from one organization to the other. So I legit for a while thought they were two different people.
Yeah. Because I think he was smaller and he as Johnny B. Bad.
Yeah,
And his moveset was different.
yeah. And when he became WWE, he looked more because he cut his hair obviously. Then he was more shorter.
Yeah.
And instead of having the like goatee, he had a beard instead. So it threw off like. Oh.
Yeah. The mustache. He had the mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, old wrestling.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know what? Really, Vader in WCW,
Yeah.
WWF, and Japan.
Yeah.
Right. So you're like, okay, so if it's the same guy across that, then clearly, that's fine. But then when the same guy's a different person across a different organization, whoa.
Oh, you can't do that. Unless you own the rights to your own name, then you can't do that. Like Big Boss Man, he's Big Boss Man in WWF.
Yeah.
Then in WCW, he was
Big Bubba Rogers, yeah?
Yeah, Big Bubba Rogers. And like, oh. But with him, obviously, it's the same person because he looks like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hogan was Hogan in all those organizations.
Yeah, because he owned his name the best.
Yeah. Warrior was Warrior and Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. Luger was Luger.
Yeah.
That's his real name.
But that's what through, like, when you don't realize about rights and stuff, you just wonder.
Yeah.
Why is this person? Why is this not the person, this character, whoever, right?
Yeah.
Why some of them got the same name, and some of them don't? Like Blaney, Scott Hall, being Razor Ramon, right?
Yeah.
It sounded exotic name. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the acting, with the way they pulled it off as well, it sounded like he was a Italian, Mediterranean sort of mafioso.
Yeah, he's meant to be a Cuban drug lord.
Yeah. Or something like that, right? Whether he's Italian or Cuban or something, but something to do with like the mafia.
Yeah.
To some degree. And then when he comes to WCW and he's called Scott Hall, it's just like, well, that's a plain sound. I mean, his actual name, to be fair, but
it sounds plain sound, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like ordinary.
Yeah.
When he was larger than life.
Razor Ramon. Yeah. It's so weird. And there was another funny one. Oh, I've forgotten it now. Like, you got, like, Raven.
Yeah.
In WWF, he was Scotty
Flamingo.
Pablo?
Johnny Polo.
Yeah, Johnny Polo. And then he's Raven, And then, have you heard that funny story where Vince McMahon, when he hired him back as Raven, he didn't know it was Johnny Polo?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, when did we hire back Johnny Polo?
Yeah, like, who hired Johnny Polo back?
And like, he is Raven. You know that, right? What?
Yeah, he's been going around for years.
Exactly. From like 96, he was. No, was it 95?
Yeah.
He was Raven, so it's not like all of a sudden gimmick change, but all right.
Okay,
Nutter.
So I've got a scenario here.
Okay.
So let's just take. You've seen Alien, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you've seen The Thing, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So take those two characters and swap them in their films. How would the film turn out? Like, let's go for the Alien one first. So we'll swap the thing in Alien.
Yeah.
And how would that scenario do you think that would turn out?
I don't know really, because the alien is more, I want to say, out to kill.
Yeah.
And like in the thing, it was more about self-preservation.
Yeah. So, I mean, in my opinion, I believe that the thing would win this, like, would end up winning the scenario because it's about subterfuge and pretending they're the other person. He's not out to kill them unless they find him.
Yeah.
So he'd probably end up like either wiping them all out or getting into one of them pod chambers to, in the end, and being able to get away. I don't think they could have worked out a way to find him.
No.
And the way that he eliminates them or takes them over is a bit. How are you gonna, between the people that are on the ship?
Yeah.
How they're gonna work out what's going on here? Then the way that the trust works in there is gonna be very awkward.
Yeah, because like they're all like in the thing, like the people there are like scientists in a way, or like a specialist in the reason why they're sent there, innit? But like in Alien, if I remember correctly, they're just like miners, really, ain't they?
I believe colonists or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Just to search out to see how the other planets would be.
So I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the thing would probably wipe them all out and end up taking over the pod, the spaceship or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or he would have tricked one of them to put him in the chamber or something like that.
Yeah.
But he'd definitely win the scenario. Winning being surviving or eliminating the opposition. We'll put it that way. Okay. What do you think about? Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say.
What do you think about how the Xenomorph's chances of surviving McCready's crew?
Not much, because they got the great Kurt Russell, so he sort of he like neutralizes everything because he's Kurt Russell.
Well, I think but to your point, the thing could blend in with the crew. Yeah. Whereas the alien blatantly looks like an alien, right?
Yeah. And actually,
and all the lights and.
You know what? I think in this scenario, the alien would win because.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I was saying I was going to say the opposite, but go on.
Because the alien doesn't care. It would just kill everyone. Has no sort of. He don't want to preserve himself. He just wants to kill. That's their thing, isn't it?
Well, no, he wants to survive in a way that they're going to come try and kill him. He's trying to survive and he's killing them back. So that's kind of the situation I'd see it.
I don't know. I just think it would just murder him. And because it's more stealthy, even though it's like 16 feet bigger than the thing monster, probably. But like, he would win. And his bullets and stuff can't hurt it, can it?
It can.
Well, not mere humans in the 1980s.
All right. Well, here's the thing. This is how I'm going to view it, right?
All right.
So, yes, it obviously it's not going to run to the portal, wherever it was. Was it the research center?
Yeah.
As a dog, because they're blatantly going to see it. Coming. So at that point, say if the scenario is from that point.
Yeah.
They'd probably fire a couple of shots off it and then work out what's going on. But if it ambushes them in a group, he could probably just, between the acid blood and the way that it fights, he could eliminate quite a bit of them.
Yeah.
But if they get their bearings together, get their flamethrowers, and start proper working as a team, as McReady was trying to get them to do, and they'd listen because the thing.
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
the alien will either die in the cold outside, or come inside and have to fight for its life. So
Yeah, you put it that way because if you get rid of the whole paranoia thing, which is the whole big part of the thing, no, they work together and just murder him. Two of them would probably die, to be fair.
Yeah, a good couple, because you'd have to have the cannon fodder. To show the threat, and then once the group gets together, you'd probably have a couple die because of stuff they don't realize, the acid blood and whatever.
So you're right. Yeah, the humans would win in that scenario.
Okay.
The humans.
All right, we'll get to our main event discussion because this, I don't know how long is going to take, and it could take a bit. So what we were going to do is cast the Marvel Cinematic Universe as though it was in the 80s. All right. Here's the thing, though. We'll use the rough outline of the actual movies as to what would be the scripts for the actors in the movie, so you have a sense of kind of what they would act like. All right. So do you want to go for your list first, or
we'll go through my because mine's only up to a certain point because I didn't get any further. But for me, so we're starting obviously with the
just go through the list though. We'll go through the discussion after this. So you list yours, I'll list mine, and then we'll go into the discussion.
Okay. All right. For my team, I have picked Kurt Russell as Iron Man.
Kurt Russell's Iron Man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Eddie Murphy as James Rhodes, aka.
Oh, I didn't. No. Okay. Yeah, I didn't cast that, but I was only doing the main six.
Oh right, because I went, like you said, through the film list. So I thought, okay, let me do it that way. Like characters
I just went for the main six Avengers and Nick Fury. But I'll look. Tell you what, whoever you haven't got, I'll think up on the fly. Okay. I mean, whoever you have got that I haven't, I'll think up on the fly. So you're saying you cast War Machine as well, yeah?
Yep, because he was in Iron Man 2. That's the reason why I done that.
Okay, fair enough.
Then I had Steve Guttenberg from the Police Academy fame as Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Then I brought Luke Ferrigno back for the Hulk.
Okay, well, okay, so yes, there's two. Yes, we'll continue this bit with the list in a second, but let me just say, there's two ways we could have gone with the Hulk. One as a bodybuilder, like Luke Ferrigno and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or the other one is like how Kevin Peter Hall was in the Predator bodysuit. And they could probably just get someone in a bodysuit. But that's why the Hulk is a bit awkward casting, because they'd either get a bodybuilder or they'd get a dude in a bodysuit, and it's not really acting required. Yeah. So as much as you say Lou Ferrigno, fair enough, but we kind of shouldn't really cast that because they'd probably find a way around it in the 80s.
The 80s CGI or the special effects were kind of crappy. So that's all I went.
Yeah, it definitely would not be a CGI thing.
Nah, that's all I just remember with Lou Ferrigno. I was thinking of like wrestlers from that time. And I thought, nah.
Well, I went for the dude. I went for the dude in the bodysuit, like Kevin Peter Hall, in a bulked up kind of Predator bodysuit.
But then
7'2" and
the mask will look dodgy. That's why I didn't bother going with bodysuit. I just thought green.
But that's why we're saying it's kind of Hulk is a bit of an exception here.
Yeah.
Banner, yes. Hulk, no. Okay. So, continue.
Dolph Lundgren as for Odinson.
Okay.
And I would cast Sharon Stone as the Black Widow.
Yeah, okay.
Just because she's the only one I could think of. It was either going to be her or Julia Roberts. Actually, I'm going Julia Roberts.
Okay. Fair enough.
And Hawkeye, I couldn't think of anyone. I'm going to go randomly as someone of that time who wasn't too famous.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a young... Actually, I don't even know. Right, give me a sec and think. Right, you do yours and I'll think.
No, because you haven't told me who your Captain America is.
Oh yeah, Captain America. I totally forgot that. Cap. All right. I didn't pick him. All right. off the top of my dome, I'm going to go.
And your Nick Fury.
Oh, Nick Fury. I was going to say Robert Redford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about. Don't worry about they bringing a cast in the future. This is just.
Yeah. I don't, that's why I didn't bother thinking about
Robert
that.
Redford.
He's like
Okay.
my automatically thought for him.
Yeah.
And okay, for Captain America, I would pick. These two are hard. Captain America and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Plus, hmm. Right,
Yeah.
you go for yours, and I'll come back to them.
So, yeah. I was gonna say Cap was the easiest one for me to cast right there.
Yeah.
But you already used him in yours. That's why you didn't cast him. Kurt Russell was Captain America.
I don't know.
Why are you saying? Okay, we'll get to the discussion after.
You'll get to after.
Yeah. But look, the dude's bulky.
Yeah.
He's big. He's charismatic. He's humorous acting. But we'll get to that discussion in a minute. Let me just give you my listing.
All right.
Timothy Dalton as Tony Stark.
Really?
Michael Keaton as Banner.
Okay.
I've got Liam Neeson as Thor.
Okay.
Hawkeye, Michael Biehn.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Black Widow, Karen Allen. Miriam Ravenwood from Indiana Jones.
Okay.
And I have my Nick Fury is Patrick Swayze.
Really?
Yeah. But we like now it's time to now we discuss why we chose our people.
Okay.
So you said you chose Captain America yet, so we can't.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise as Captain America.
Yeah, he was young back then.
Wait. What year is your Avengers taking place?
Actually, good point. If it's like not, well, my one would go into the early 90s because it's sort of following, say, from 1988. Then it would have to go towards
1990 Avengers movie to come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, because mine was 1980. 1980 is when the Avengers movie comes out.
Who said it again?
So but it kind of makes sense for the timeline to move for your people.
Yeah.
I think, right, between the both of us,
yeah,
both our Captain Americans are shorter than comic book Captain.
Yeah, that's true.
And Chris Evans is 6'1", so you can kind of. There's not. I don't want to say a huge difference in height.
Yeah.
But you kind of like 3 inches is not different from the comic book character, and being that is Captain America, it's kind of how are you going to get someone physically that perfect that perfectly cast.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, that's like Captain America is the hard one out of all of them.
No, if you put Kurt Russell in 2-inch heels. No, 2-inch platform lifts. He's about 6 foot ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I can accept that this guy is Captain America because of like his. First of all, he's got the charisma and he's got the acting ability to pull off all these scenarios, and he's got a build. Like he could definitely do humor. He's not afraid to make fun of himself. But he's got like that quality, like the lead of men quality. I will say Tom Cruise being 5'6" is an issue there.
Yeah, no, that's a huge issue. But I was like, just literally top of my head for him. Or
I will say this as well, because that same actor who's playing Captain America has got to play pre-serum Captain America and post-serum.
Yeah.
So if you were to cast someone like Kurt Russell, who's about 5'9", 5'10", then you could cast the people that are surrounding him pre-serum, above his height.
Actually, I'm changing.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Jeff Bridges
as your Captain America.
Yep.
Okay. And why? Back
'Cause
yourself up, man.
he just all right. Captain America. Right. Reason why I wouldn't pick Kurt Russell as Captain America.
Yeah.
Because Captain America's meant to.
By the way, you do know that Jeff Bridges by the 90s would be about 50.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Would he? Oh, it don't matter.
No,
Look,
it'd be 40 something. It'd be 40 something.
Yeah,
Your
well,
movie would be different.
well, Robert Downey Jr. was in his 40s when they casted him as Iron Man.
Okay, but no, what I'm saying is your Captain America movie would not likely be the exact movie that they did make.
Yeah, no, it won't be. Of course
If
it
you
won't.
use that as a guideline, it'd still be fine.
Yeah, it won't be. But like Kurt Russell has that not being bad because he's like one of my favorite actors, but
Yeah.
he has that sleazy sort of look to him, so he wouldn't really work.
I don't agree with that specifically.
Look at Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, no, he can play that role.
But that's what he's known for.
He probably like Overboard as well. He could, but and a bit of Tango and Cash as well.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. So like with like, it works with like Chris Evans because he has always looked like that boy next door, wholesome guy. Kurt Russell, except for like that Disney film he was in when he was like a child, hasn't really ever looked like that. Because look at him in The Thing. He's an alcoholic.
Yeah.
In Escape from New York, he's just a guy who's given up on the world. Another basically alcoholic. You know what I mean? He has that rugged look to him. With Captain America, you have to have that wholesome, all-American look to him. You know what I mean? And Jeff Bridges in Tron, he has that.
I will say also, as you're trying to convert my Kurt Russell choice to a bad one, in Backdraft he was a bit of a hard bastard as well. But 100% though, he's got the acting ability to put all this up. He knows like he could do humor, could do like did you ever see Soldier?
No.
So Soldier is this 1998 movie where they were making not the super soldiers or stuff like that, right? But they trained these specific soldiers to wage the war, whatever. And then they got more elite soldiers. So they just, got these people out of production and tried to get them all killed, get rid of them. But he managed to survive. That man, though, as much as the movie is not great, he acted like he only about 15 lines in the movie. And to be able to carry that with body language, man, that just tells you exactly what's going on. Like, I don't want to say emotional performance, but he had to do a range of things without having to say much. And then when Jason Scott Lee just beats him up at the end, he does that little Captain America bit where, he could do this all day. He doesn't say that line, but just gets up from the beating to continue fighting.
Yeah, nah, you're not winning me over, bro.
Okay, but and your Jeff Bridges. What are you saying about Jeff Bridges?
He has the all-American jawline to be Captain America. And I don't know, he can play, the sort of sympathetic person that you feel for, but then he can also play like a complete and utter douche. So I don't know.
Well, to be fair, they're both flexible actors that can do.
Yeah.
That they would both be good in the role regardless. So it's not like it's here or there or one or the other.
Yeah.
That we have to make the choice. But I gotta say, I don't think I've seen a movie with Jeff Bridges where he's built like a tank to a degree. You know what I mean? I'm sure he probably bulk up for the role, but I haven't seen him do one.
I mean, he was Jebediah's. Wait, what was his bad guy name in Iron Man? He was quite big in that.
The Stone, yeah.
Yeah. He's quite like intimidating in that.
Oh no, but I mean the size of the builder guy. The builder of a super soldier.
Oh yeah, no, they'll do what they used to do back in those days. You never saw them topless or anything like that, and they had like bodysuits.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, hey, look, it's more about more the during this time period. It'd be more about the acting quality of the person that's chosen rather than
Yeah.
specifically how they look, because
Yeah.
they could just use angle like they do nowadays, where they use certain angles to hide the different heights of. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland are the same height
Yeah.
in real life. I say in real life, but you know,
But
out of the movie.
Yeah.
But they put him in platforms so he appears taller than Tom Holland. So
Yeah.
tricks like that. It could. All right, okay. We'll move on to our second choice characters.
Yep.
Iron Man. So you said Kurt Russell,
Yeah.
and
Kurt
I said
Russell.
Timothy Dalton, right?
Yep.
We have to remember that yours is taking place about 5 years after mine's taking place.
Yeah.
So we got to count for that. Now, I don't think you have the bad choice. I don't think you have a bad choice because I really backed up Kurt Russell, right?
Yeah.
So I can't say you have a bad choice. I just think Timothy Dalton looks more the part of Iron Man.
Does he though?
Yeah. I'm just what's the artist's name? Mike Dorenko Jr. He did Mike Dorenko Jr. Brazil So the Brazilian artist, he did a run on Amazing Spider-Man and She-Hulk.
Mm.
He and when he did his Amazing Spider-Man run,
Yeah.
he drew Norman Osborn to look like Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay.
But he drew Tony Stark to look like Timothy Dalton.
I'm looking at it now, dude.
Yeah.
He looks too.
Well, I'm
British.
just saying. I'm not specifically saying that inspired my choice. I'm just saying the look of the when Timothy Dalton was in Flash Gordon. I'm saying, look, that's the look of the Iron Man to me at this time period. I wouldn't act the similar to Robert Downey Jr. because you have to make adjustments for it.
Yeah.
But I think he looked the part and he could act the part.
Yeah, looking at it now, yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. I think me personally, Timothy Dalton get into his acting strides when he got older, like more than this.
Yeah.
But
so why would you say? For probably why you say Kurt Russell for this role is actually not saying that he can act like Robert Downey Jr. But he could take those. He's capable of doing mostly the same elements, I guess, right?
Yeah, and like I said, he's played many men with like alcoholism,
sleazy role,
and stuff like that. So
my Tony Stark would be more of how the comics version was at the time, which was more of a straight lace. I know Robert Downey Jr. wasn't exactly acting like Iron Man.
Yeah, of course not.
But you know, as we're going for the template of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I can see why your choice was your choice.
Yeah, it makes sense, you know. I know, but this is not long after, because basically he wouldn't be the Tony Stark who we have now because of the movies. But like you said, like Kurt Russell can play straight lace. He didn't have to do all the witty banter like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Like Timothy Dalton would deliver the lines differently.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, look, the guy looks the part. Like when he's in, like James Bond tux and the all the suits that Stark has to wear.
Yeah.
You know, wine and dining women and stuff like that. You know, I mean all the stuff that makes him a good Bond.
Yeah.
That's kind of making him good for this. All this that makes Timothy Dalton a good Bond.
Yeah.
Actually make this Iron Man role as it is, like you know, not womanizing specifically, but that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Whining, dining, you know, charismatic, charming.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And his Bond as well was acted more dramatically. So you know, when that shrapnel's going to, you know, when he's saying an explosion of the shrapnel going to his heart and stuff like that. I think he'd play with a bit more. He could play that sense of danger. You know, I could die at any point because of this.
Yeah, but I just keep thinking of him as cheesy Bond dude. So, because me personally, anything before Casino Royale, I just see as his
Yeah.
cheesy acting. But that's me personally.
Hey, look, man. No, I don't think it was as cheesy as the other ones. You probably, to be fair, he was just after Roger Moore, which was cheesy, kind of.
Yeah.
So,
But I know
all
because
right.
like his Bond film was pretty serious. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
because of all the other Bond films, I sort of just like not meaning to throw them all in that same cheese
Yeah, yeah.
bucket. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not on
Okay.
purpose, intentionally.
Yeah. So we're both, we haven't convinced each other of either agreements yet so far.
No.
Okay. So you're saying,
Yep.
Dolph Lundgren as Thor. Now you're at this point it'd been 1991 for yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first film movie was
Correct.
3 years after.
Yeah, 2011. Yeah.
Yeah. So you started in 1988, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, 2001 for you. Okay. And I said Liam Neeson, and mine be 83 at this point. Now, let me say, I was going to go for the obvious choice of Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
But at my time period, with all the ages, he would have been like 20 something, and his English would not be as good. Also, he wouldn't have probably started his career at that point ish, because he came into fame about Rocky era, and he didn't speak, which is like 85. Mine's before that, so he couldn't be in contention for my choices.
Yeah.
His English got much better by the point you're casting him.
Yeah, because he was He-Man.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. He's got a body for it.
Yeah.
Acting ability, I don't know, but hey, look, let's face it, the guy got a movie career out of, big budget movies out of it. So, I do believe, funny enough, when he needs to overdo it, he can, like Dolph Lundgren in Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
Dude can act hammy when he needs to.
Yeah.
But I don't know about acting dramatically at this point.
But if you're going to be honest, yeah. For my time period,
yeah.
Like my time period I'm doing,
yeah.
You got to look at other comic book films that day. There's no such thing as dramatic acting in those. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I was like.
I will say 100% the body and kind of the look. But if he's meant to, can he even put off an English accent?
You wouldn't have to. He would just put off his normal accent. In America back then, they didn't know what a Scandinavian or English accent was. So
now I will say this, right? If he was Viking Thor, fair enough. You could have him the accent from that area, and people kind of wouldn't shake their head.
Yeah.
But when it goes to how the Shakespearean voice of tone that the comics had Thor, to be fair though, by this point they might not have even cared. They could have just made the adjustments and kind of let it slide.
Yeah.
Then everyone else would have to act with sort of Norse style accents ish.
Yeah, probably. But
I will say this as well. He's definitely got presence, and by this point, he did have screen charisma.
Yeah.
So, and he does look intimidating, like he could be built like Thunder the God. I will give him that over Liam Neeson, right?
Yeah.
But Liam Neeson, like as you've seen from Taken and whatnot, he can kind of do these action roles. He's tall enough as well. At that point, where Thor is 6'6". He's about 200 plus pounds, 210, I think, walking normal weight.
Yeah.
So you know how when you bulk up for the movie role, he could probably put another 20 pounds. 25 pounds is what seems to be the average that people put on for superhero roles.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely command presence there with Liam Neeson. You can. There's no way you can doubt that.
Yeah. No,
but
I can
we kind
see
of went for guys I think we both went for guys that had the size and the look, because Dolph Lundgren with a beard also still kind of looks like that look. Liam Neeson probably, I don't know, about blonde wig or whatever, right? Well, maybe he wouldn't even have a wig, just have the bearded look. Still pull that off. I don't know. Who your Captain America? Who did you say again?
I said Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, yeah.
Yeah.
So, could you believe in your team?
Yeah.
that Jeff Bridges could tell Dolph Lundgren what to do.
Yeah.
I do believe Kurt Russell could say to Liam Neeson, you know, command him on the field to some degree.
Nah, but you gotta see it as this. At the start of the Avenger films,
Yeah.
Iron Man or Thor didn't listen to Tony Stark. It wasn't later until they built the relationship up where he started listening to them.
Yeah. Fair enough. Also, the suits. So would you have the sleeveless suit?
For
That
Thor?
Thor had back in the days. Like for Dolph Lundgren, could probably pull it off because of his build, right?
Yeah.
I'd probably have. So you know the sleeves that Darth Vader has.
Yeah.
I'd probably have that for Liam Neeson slightly, just because I don't think his arms could be the size of a super that sort of massive superhero build. But obviously, we haven't seen his arms, we haven't seen his build, so we don't know specifically.
Yeah.
But if he couldn't get his arms that big, you know, they could just work around it with specific things in his costume
or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So we're both in disagreement about. Wait, hold on a minute. What I'm gonna say is, Liam Neeson's accent.
Yeah.
He could pull off English.
Yeah, he could pull off English.
Dolph Lundgren, you're saying Dolph Lundgren, you're gonna bypass this at this point. You don't need
of course. Like I said,
Right,
back then, no one knew the backstory of Thor that anyway. So you just do what you want.
to nullify my argument of, I think we have the physicalities, right?
Yeah.
But the
acting skills, of course, you win.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
This is the 80s. No one cared about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
legitimacy,
it's the funny thing. The funny thing is, look, as much as I can say about certain things, you come back with something that's actually relevant to the time period. Like, people don't care about acting in the 80s. People don't care about accents either.
That's why I've picked most of these people is one with no one back then cared. And there's no internet for people to slag it off. So
also, as well, the pop culture wasn't as massively widespread about in that time, I think. Because people, like you say, people couldn't point out this, that, and the other. Thor is a Norse Viking god thing, right?
Yeah.
And Dolph Lundgren's accent wouldn't be out of place with that. So, okay, I suppose, you know, people just let it slide because they just assume it is what it is rather than there's a little backstory to whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so your banner was Steve Buscemi, right?
Wait, what?
Your banner, Bruce Banner.
No, mine was Steve Gutenberg.
Oh, sorry, Steve Gutenberg.
Yeah.
I got me with, you know, when they were singing the Ultimates, the comic book, The Ultimates?
Yeah.
And they were joking about who would be cast as who in the movie.
Yeah.
And I think Ant-Man said that Banner would be Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
That's where I got that from. Okay. I had mine as Michael Keaton.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, actually, funny enough, I do think mine's more okay. Both of them can do comedy. Yeah. Steve Gutenberg, I can't remember offhand if I've seen him in anything serious, but we know from Batman that Michael Keaton can do the darker kind of roles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he can once he put the glasses on, he kind of was a bit nerdy, and he can tame himself to a degree. You know, like when he was Beetlejuice and he was completely going over the top.
Yeah.
Whereas Batman, he
reeled it in,
pulled it all the way down. I don't think Gutenberg is a bad choice. Actually, he kind of looks kind of the part-ish.
Yeah,
I can believe him as Banner, but I haven't seen him do anything serious. I'm sure he has, but I can't remember offhand.
I'm trying to look now, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I know recently he was in the Rock show Ballers, and he was quite serious in that. That's why I sort of picked him, because I was like, oh, he actually can do, you know.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually a bad choice. It's funny enough. We got completely kind of not different choices, but they kind of a similar look to them to that degree.
Yeah.
But I think because they're smaller men.
Yeah.
And
they
then
have
when
that sort of sciencey look to them.
Yeah, and when you have the cast walking around with this character, and then you have the cast walking around with whoever be cast as a whole, you can see the massive difference in height.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think either of us have particularly bad choices there, actually.
Boy from Brazil. Okay, he was in the film Boys from Brazil. But yeah, going through his resume.
Yeah.
It's been a bit ups and downs. But yeah, I reckon he
But
could.
doesn't everyone? That's the thing. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're gonna say ups and downs, Dolph Lundgren, you know what I mean?
Oh, God, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Well, there's not much to say about that because we're not really in disagreement. We're like each other's choice is actually pretty good.
Yeah, they work. Yeah.
Okay. Who did you manage to say was your Hawkeye?
My Hawkeye, I'm going to go with. I just saw his name. I forgot to write it down. It's because they'll be quite young at this time as well. So I thought, okay, get around it. Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can kind of. Yeah, I can kind of. I mean, I see Michael Biehn more because, like, around this time, anyways, it would have been Terminator come out, and he was doing the soldier sort of vibe that he always continued to The Rock as well. So he was. I don't want to say he's a secondary lead actor to whoever's on screen, but he doesn't take them over. No. He's definitely there, and he's definitely been cast in that military role quite often, like Aliens as well. I can see though Matt Dillon kind of being a little bit of the smart ass persona of Hawkeye.
Yeah, smarky Hawkeye. Yeah. But
on
this
how young would he have been there?
Well, he's born 64, so at this point he would have been 25.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
If my maths is correct.
Yeah. I could I guess that depends on how young he looked at the time.
Yeah.
They might change the casting because if he looked like a guy who wouldn't have been in a high tier agent in Shield, you know. But to be fair, Chloe Bennett, we don't know how old she was, like 25 in Agents of Shield, and she was part of Shield. So hey.
But I think the actress was actually younger than the character she played.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I probably okay. Let me double check that. But I probably meant Sky, who she was playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, she's probably about 21. Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Oh yeah. Okay. So that kind of disproves my argument. What I was about to say. That's fair. Yeah. I from what I've seen of Matt Dillon, I suppose he can pull off that role. Not to say there's nothing too much to do for Hawkeye at this point.
Yeah.
But I think Michael Bihn's more.
No, I agree with you. I would. Yeah. I totally forgot with Michael Biehn. I don't know how I did, but I would totally. I could see him, like you said, as Hawkeye. In yours on my timeline, yeah, it works.
Okay, you said. Okay, so I said Karen Allen for Black Widow.
Yeah.
And you said Julia Roberts.
Yeah, baby.
Yours would have been at this point. I'm trying to work out how old she would be. 23?
Yeah, that makes sense.
No. She'd have been 23. Wait, Iron Man 2, yeah? So it'd be 1990. Yeah. She'd have been 23.
Yeah. Scarlet Witch was around that age. I mean, not Scarlet Witch, sorry.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose. I suppose. I mean, like.
Maybe.
No. It's just like at the point, how young does she look at 23? Because you know how when they're casting school kids nowadays, they're casting like 25 to 20, 17 to 25-year-olds as 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
So if she looked like a I know what you mean. One of them, you'd be like, yeah. But then again, there's also I gotta say, I don't think I've seen her in any action roles. Ish.
Neither have I, to be fair.
I will say my choice, Karen Allen. Like she was a scrapper in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but she was annoying in Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay, yeah. But she looked like a woman that can handle herself.
Yeah, I know. But again, I'm gonna cast him for the 80s.
Yeah.
You're going for looks, ain't you? Not being bad, but you know it's true.
Okay, I only laugh because whatever I say to counter, whatever you say to counter me, it's actually relevant to the time as well. It's not as if I can't say, well, no, that's not right. That's sexist.
Yeah.
No, I can't say that. You're exactly on point for the time period that they would cast, yeah. So no matter what I say, you've got something to say back.
I don't
and
like doing it, but
and I can't even dispute it. That's the problem. I can't. No, but okay. So in all seriousness, fair enough. Actually, I had a load of other choices as well, but
yeah,
I stayed with Ariana because I think kind of she looked more the part as well,
yeah.
and she looked like she could do the physicals.
Okay.
But I had James Seymour there. The obvious choice was Tony Weaver, but I was like, I didn't like 38, so it would have been a bit odd to have an older, with older than most of the cast.
Yeah.
There was Michelle Pfeiffer as well. Would have been 26 though.
I thought
But
of her as
everyone
well,
else-
but I
Yeah.
thought it's easy choice. That's why I didn't bother pick her.
Well, okay. To be fair, I mean, we're not casting for star power. We're casting for ability. But Julia Roberts would have had more star power at that point.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, Julia Roberts is pretty tall for a lady. I think 5'8". I'd say pretty tall for a lady, but the average, comparably.
That's quite tall.
If your Black Widow is about the same height as your Captain America, your Iron Man probably is not too bad actually, but she would have been about the same height as my Captain America, which would have been a bit odd.
Be fine. No one would.
Yeah.
You know, camera trickery and stuff. Be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're disagreeing on the choices there, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Your Nick Fury was Robert Redford,
yeah.
and mine was Patrick Swayze. I think these are still two good choices, though. That's the thing; they're still pretty good choices.
The only reason I would go with more with Robert Redford is because he's always looked old. If that makes sense.
No, he does look like a guy who can be the top tier person in the company, like the CEO of a company or whatever, the guy who leads everyone.
Yeah.
The leader of a spy organization or whatever. He's got that believability to him.
Yeah, but and I've always pictured Nick Fury as a sort of oldish guy, but Patrick Swayze, if he was doing the early years of Nick Fury, then cool, he'd be a good Nick Fury.
Yeah,
but if you're doing it then, it's like
I mean, you got a point. You got a point. I will say, here's the thing, right? The reason I cast him is because of how the role was written.
Yeah.
The Fury role, as you see in Iron Man 2, he's like, Stark, man, get your shit together.
Yeah.
That's sort of not like a fatherly role, but like buddy, man.
Yeah.
You're part of the team, that sort of thing. I think you can pull it off. But you are right in the sense that Robert Redford's age, role, sincerity as well.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a problem for me casting that slightly because I was like, shall I have Patrick Swayze as Captain America or Nick Fury? I was between Kurt Russell, those two. I was like, oh man, do I swap their roles about and stuff like that? But I was like, nah, because I'll just keep with Patrick Swayze because he's like, he could do the action if he needs to. But we're not casting beyond that. It's just, he's like the leader of an organization or a group of people and take charge kind of guy.
Yeah. That
can be secondary to my Captain America as well if he needs to be at certain points, as in Winter Soldier, when Cap's telling people what to do.
Yeah.
I can. I that's what I was casting for.
Okay. No.
So you're.
I was doing the logical, as in how people thought back then, and because not being bad, I found this quite hard because I don't really. The 80s wasn't really the best of time, and the 90s I'll say it as well. Not really the best of time for actors.
I will say yes, exactly. But we're casting White Nick Fury because he was white at the time.
Yeah.
But I will say this: if Nick Fury's backstory was going that he used to be part of World War II, if that was because he was, and if that movie coming out of the 80s included that, yours would be the better choice.
Yeah.
Because he looked about that age to work there, be in World War II. I mean, they'd probably, dye the sides of his hairs white at that point, just to give him that little because he would have been like Robert Redford about 8, but he, like you say, he's always had that kind of mature look. So if he dyed the streaks of the
it would work. Yeah,
to the 90s, he'd be fine.
Yeah.
As someone, I went through World War II. Whereas here, I've cast a guy who's just the lead of the spy organization, and in the MCU don't mention it,
Yeah.
so I have to not account for it.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
You were saying Eddie Murphy as
War
War.
Machine. Yeah.
Now, funny enough, I probably would have got him as the Falcon instead. But knowing that the oddity is, and you probably better casting him as War Machine, Eddie Murphy, Captain America might be a bit of an odd thing.
Yeah.
Comedy at the time, serious roles. He was known as a comedy actor,
Yeah.
and by that point in the timeline that I've moved across,
Yeah.
yeah, he would have probably been a better War Machine than the Falcon becoming Captain America at that point.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
Was Wesley Snipes around in the late 80s?
So,
because I would have, if I was gonna cast Falcon, then I would have done him as Falcon.
No, he would have been like 20. Okay, yours, yes.
My timeline, it'll work. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine would be like 23 or something like that. You'd just
If
be
that,
a bit too.
yeah.
I'd have to come up with someone else, but we didn't go that far.
Yeah.
Though I would say if we were casting Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
I probably would have swapped out Patrick Swayze to be the Winter Soldier, or maybe Kurt Russell. One of the guys. I would have had my two guys, Patrick Swayze and Kurt Russell, between Winter Soldier and Captain America. I'd have had to narrow down the choice.
Yeah.
I'd have probably swapped out my Nick Fury for someone like, I know you chose Robert Redford, but Tommy Lee Jones or Sam Neill-ish,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'd pick.
Okay, just to finish up this discussion though.
Yeah.
If the Avengers was made in the 80s, how do you think, because they couldn't have made the film that the 2012 Avengers Assemble film, CGI spectacle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was the script the plot is paper thin because it's just alien invasion, but it's enjoyable because of the character interactions.
Yeah.
Pure entertainment, right? But if they were to film this in the 80s, they could never have done that CGI spectacle battle. How do you think they would have actually come up with a plot line at the end of it? When you have to say your Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America lead into the Avengers. What would they've done, do you reckon, for the Avengers in the 80s?
I reckon, like, realistically, I don't think they would have had the setup movies. They just went straight into. Hi everyone. So just a little behind the scenes bit. Basically, we had some recording problems because due to everything's going on in the world, being recording remotely. We had a bit of a connection issue, so there's like a good 10-20 minutes where it was recording nothing. So I've had to edit this, and it's gonna sound really weird because this is so retroactively done. It's gonna sound really weird, and it's gonna mess up the flow of everything. But thought I'd let you guys know so it doesn't sound weird when you listen to it. But yeah, so back to the show.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
And pretend. Okay, what story would you have in your Avengers movie, like as their main get together film?
Have you seen?
I think it'd be quite a lot to, come up with characters, backgrounds, and all that stuff. If you don't have the setup movies,
it would.
But in the 80s, they're not going to have the special effects to be able to do the horde army of the Chitauri. So how do you think? What do you think they would do?
They literally just do the first Avenger comic where they team up to fight Loki, and that's literally it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
fair enough.
You said, they ain't got the CGI and all that, so they're gonna have to shortcut it.
I thought, okay, this is why, and it's strange it never actually did happen in the Avengers films. But if you do the individual setup movies, then you could do the Avengers being their team up movie, and because their villains team up. Logically speaking, then you just have two opposing teams.
Yeah,
and that would have been that,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just strange that they had all the oppositions there, the Red Skull. Okay, to be fair, Ultron.
Yeah.
By that point, you could have used a Hulkbuster instead of whatever Hulk enemy. You could have the Abomination, or you could have used a Hulkbuster as Hulk's opposition there.
Yeah.
Thor would have probably been Loki, or if they were doing it the way the Age of Ultron was doing, maybe you could add Vision, who then switches because he's taken over by Ultron, and then he becomes Jarvis, or whatever. How are you going to do it? But just like separate teams rather than a second army of Ultrons. Exactly the same almost with the Chitaris in the first Avengers. But let me ask you, okay?
Yeah, ask me.
Okay, so the classic Avengers lineup was Ant-Man, Wasp, Iron Man, Thor, and Hulk. Even though Hulk leaves on Avengers issue 2, and then Captain America joins in issue 4.
Yeah.
Then there was the 80s Avengers, which was Captain America, Thor, Captain Marvel, but it was Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel,
Miss Marvel,
Black Knight, Dr. Druid, and Namor, right? And then they had, you ever heard of Cap's Kooky Quartet, as they're called?
No.
Okay, so it was the group of Captain America, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, I know that.
So, if they did make the Avengers movie in the 80s, what lineup do you reckon they would have? Mainly the classic lineup, right? Instead of, I don't think they would have had Black Widow. They probably would have put Ant-Man and Wasp instead of Black Widow there. But it would have been mostly the same as we got the movies.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be that.
Only because Captain Marvel, Black Knight, Dr. Druid, all them, it's like Namor. What? Not saying, I forgot about, West Coast Avengers had Hawkeye, Wonder Man, Tigra, Mockingbird, Jim Rhodes Iron Man, because he was Iron Man in that period, and Moon Knight. But I think for your major Avengers movie, they'd probably just stick to the classic.
No, I reckon, because they might have gone with the 80s one, because when you think about it, like Black Knight and all the other ones you said are sort of money-wise cheaper to do.
Oh, probably. If they had licensing, right? Oh, no, I just forget about licensing. I know because they sold them, the rights to do certain things because Marvel was getting bankrupt during the 90s and stuff like that. But if they were making the movie in the 80s, do you reckon they'd stick to classic kind of lineup-ish? Or who they had in the comics at the time?
I think comics at the time, because I think the nostalgia wasn't big enough at that point to be like, hey, let's use the original ones.
To be fair, I could see them using Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
But maybe not Black Knight or Dr. Druid. Maybe Doctor Strange instead of Dr. Druid.
Yeah, who's screwed Dr. Druid. But they'll probably use Black Knight because
maybe Iron Man instead of and maybe Iron Man instead of Black Knight, but they'd probably use Tony Stark, Iron Man, and not Jim Rhodes.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
That's me.
That's all right. I'm professional.
There you go. I'm gonna put my. Yeah. So that's what I think. Do you reckon they would have done that?
Yeah, but like you're right with they'll probably use a Tony Stark Iron Man rather than Jim Rhodes. But I still think they'll use Black Knight because, he's cool and British. And, we can use a horse and they're cheap. So.
A what? Sorry?
They will use a horse, because he has a horse in it, Black Knight.
Right? Black Knight, go.
Yeah, Black Knight, he has a horse. Everyone loves horses. They're cheap, It's easier than making a flying car or whatever. So,
I suppose, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about the guy, but...
Till recently. But, he's pretty cool now. But...
Well, okay, I'm going to say, if they were casting at the time, with the Avengers comics lineup, it'd be quite I want to say an odd lineup, but it would have been like their lesser known character lineup.
Yeah.
But hey,
no one at that point, no one cared about the Avengers anyway. So
yeah, it's true.
Okay, do what you want.
All right. So that concludes this particular episode of Trip Around the Multiverse.
Yeah, it's been.
I'm your host, CY Chung, and I'm with
the invincible Iron Man, aka Kyle Charles. Don't know why I did that.
Is that because you're saying that you sound like a robot because of the patchiness of your connection?
Yeah, that's why. Or I'm 90s, 80s Ultron. because
Yeah.
internet sucks. Then.
Yeah, because you've got the humming vibrations actually as well with the reverberation. I don't know if it's on your end. It's on my end, but yeah,
God.
you sound like you've been taken over by Ultron, man.
Yes, we're sorry about all this, guys. Yeah, that's all I can say is sorry. We're trying our best with what we have.
Okay. So yeah. See you guys later.
See you later. Thanks for taking the trip around the multiverse. Peace. Bye.
Bye.